It was a cold, winter night. The city streets were quiet, but in the shadows, some still wandered. Among them was a man wrapped in an old, tattered coat. His name was Mike. He had been homeless for years. People passed him by without a second glance, just another invisible figure on the streets. But tonight was different. JD Vance stood nearby, watching. He knew what struggle felt like. He had been that kid who had nothing, who needed someone to believe in him. And now it was his turn to make a difference. As Mike shuffled down the sidewalk, JD Vance stepped forward. "Hey, buddy. Are you hungry? Let me buy you a coffee." Mike hesitated. Most people either ignored him or threw him a few coins. But this man was different. Something about him felt genuine. Slowly he nodded, and they walked into a small diner. The scent of fresh coffee and warm pastries filled the air. It had been years since Mike had stepped into a place like this. They sat at a booth near the window. JD ordered 2 coffees. Mike stared at the steaming cup in front of him, wrapping his cold fingers around it as if feeling warmth for the first time in ages. "Why do you care?" Mike finally asked. "You're a senator. You have more important things to do." JD Vance leaned forward, his expression serious. "Because I know what it's like to struggle. I've been where you are, but someone believed in me, and it changed my life. Now, I want to do the same for you." Mike shook his head. "It's too late for me. No one will hire me. No one believes in me." JD reached into his coat pocket and pulled out a business card, sliding it across the table. "Believe in this. Tomorrow, come to my office. I can help you find a place to stay. I can get you a job. But the first step is yours. You have to show up." Mike looked down at the card. The name on it was clear. JD Vance, United States Senator. His throat tightened. No one had ever offered him a real chance before. The next morning, Mike woke up in the same spot he had slept for years. But this time, something was different. He reached into his pocket and pulled out the card. He hesitated. What if it was just pity? What if they turned him away? But something inside him whispered, "Try." He got up, brushed off his worn-out coat, and walked toward the address on the card. JD Vance was waiting for him. "Mike, I'm glad you came." That day changed everything. JD had arranged for Mike to have a place to stay, a fresh start. But more than anything, he had given him something no one else had in years: hope. Months passed. Mike worked hard, rebuilding his life step by step. He had a job, a roof over his head, and for the first time in years, a purpose. One day, he walked into JD's office. "You gave me a second chance. Now, I want to do the same for someone else." JD Vance smiled, because he knew you don't have to change the world to make a difference. Sometimes, all it takes is a single act of kindness. And maybe today, you can be that person for someone else. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Story with Dave for more inspiring stories. See you in the next one.